As we age, the risk of heart disease skyrockets, and here's something most doctors won't tell you. A large number of seniors who suffer from heart-related conditions, or tragically lose their lives to them, have one thing in common: they're severely deficient in two life-sustaining nutrients, magnesium and coenzyme Q10. And it's no coincidence. Both of these nutrients naturally decline with age, and when they do, your heart, the hardest working muscle in your body, starts running on fumes. In fact, studies show that up to 75% of adults over 60 are magnesium deficient, and CoQ10 levels in the heart can drop by more than 50% by age 80. Even worse, low magnesium levels are linked to sudden cardiac death, and CoQ10 deficiency has been observed in nearly every case of chronic heart failure. That's why in this video, we're going to uncover 6 powerful reasons why combining magnesium and CoQ10 the right way can literally be a lifesaver for your aging heart. And we won't stop there. We'll also show you how to take these two crucial nutrients properly, and what common mistakes to avoid, especially the ones most seniors unknowingly make that could reduce their effectiveness, or even cause harm. But before we dive in, please take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps this video reach more people who need to hear this vital information, maybe even someone you love. Let's get started. 1. They recharge your heart's energy supply. Your heart is the hardest working muscle in your body, beating over 100,000 times a day. To keep that up, it needs a constant supply of energy, and that energy comes from something called ATP. But your body can't make or use ATP properly without two critical nutrients: CoQ10 and magnesium. CoQ10 lives inside your cell's mitochondria, your body's energy factories, and plays a key role in turning food into ATP. Magnesium, on the other hand, is what activates ATP so your cells can actually use it. Without CoQ10, your heart struggles to make energy. Without magnesium, it can't use that energy, even if it's there. And here's the problem: both CoQ10 and magnesium decline as we age, especially in seniors. That means your heart gradually loses the fuel it needs to function, leading to fatigue, weakness, arrhythmias, and in serious cases, heart failure. But when you take magnesium and CoQ10 together, you're restoring your heart's energy system from both sides, generating the fuel and making it usable. It's like jump-starting a drained battery, and for aging hearts it can be truly life-saving. 2. They help regulate blood pressure naturally. If you think it's only potassium that can lower blood pressure, you're wrong, and missing two of the most powerful yet overlooked nutrients for natural blood pressure control: magnesium and CoQ10. Magnesium helps your blood vessels relax by acting as a natural calcium channel blocker. When calcium floods into your muscle cells, including those in your blood vessels, it causes them to contract and tighten. Magnesium opposes this effect, helping the vessels stay relaxed and open, reducing resistance and lowering blood pressure in the process. In fact, several studies, including one published in Hypertension, have shown that magnesium supplementation can modestly but significantly reduce both systolic and diastolic pressure, especially in people with magnesium deficiency or prehypertension. CoQ10 works differently but just as powerfully. It improves the function of the endothelium, the delicate lining inside your blood vessels. A healthy endothelium releases nitric oxide, a natural vasodilator that widens blood vessels and improves circulation. CoQ10 also reduces oxidative stress, which is known to damage blood vessels and raise pressure over time. One meta-analysis of randomized controlled trials found that CoQ10 supplementation reduced systolic blood pressure by up to 17 mmHg, a result comparable to some blood pressure medications without the side effects. 3. They help prevent arrhythmias and sudden cardiac arrest. Heart rhythm problems, or arrhythmias, can feel like harmless flutters, but in older adults they can quickly turn deadly. And while most people look to medications to fix them, a deficiency in magnesium or CoQ10 is often a silent trigger that goes completely overlooked. Magnesium plays a critical role in maintaining your heart's electrical stability. It helps regulate the flow of potassium and calcium in and out of heart cells, an essential process that keeps your heartbeat steady and regular. When magnesium is low, that electrical balance gets disrupted, leading to irregular heartbeats, palpitations, or even life-threatening arrhythmias. In fact, low magnesium has been directly linked to an increased risk of sudden cardiac arrest, particularly in older adults. CoQ10 adds another layer of protection. It fuels the mitochondria inside heart cells, which not only produce energy but also support the healthy firing of electrical signals. When CoQ10 is depleted, something that happens naturally with age or with statin use, the heart becomes more vulnerable to dysfunction and electrical instability. Together, magnesium and CoQ10 help keep your heart's rhythm smooth, strong, and dependable, protecting you from the kind of silent electrical failures that can lead to sudden cardiac death. 4. They counteract the side effects of statins. If you're taking a statin to lower your cholesterol, there's something you need to know. Statins may protect your arteries, but they also rob your body of something your heart desperately needs: CoQ10. Statin drugs work by blocking an enzyme in the liver that makes cholesterol, but that same enzyme is also responsible for making CoQ10. So when you take statins, your CoQ10 levels drop significantly, especially in the heart and muscles. This can lead to fatigue, muscle pain, weakness, and in some cases even worsen heart function. Ironically, the very thing statins are supposed to protect. That's where CoQ10 supplementation becomes crucial. It helps replenish what the statins deplete, restoring energy production in your heart cells and reducing muscle-related side effects. Multiple studies, including one published in the American Journal of Cardiology, have shown that CoQ10 can significantly reduce statin-induced muscle pain and fatigue, making it easier to continue therapy without feeling drained. Now add magnesium into the mix. Magnesium supports muscle relaxation, nerve function, and mitochondrial health, all of which can be impacted by statins. Plus, many statin users are also on diuretics or blood pressure medications that further deplete magnesium, compounding the problem. 5. They protect against diabetic heart disease. Here's a disturbing reality. Nearly 1 in 3 adults over the age of 65 is living with diabetes, and many more have prediabetes without even knowing it. But what's even more alarming is that diabetes doesn't just affect blood sugar, it silently attacks the heart. In fact, seniors with diabetes are 2 to 4 times more likely to die from heart disease than those without it. This condition, known as diabetic cardiomyopathy, damages the heart muscle over time, even in the absence of clogged arteries or high blood pressure. And 2 critical nutrients, magnesium and CoQ10, can offer real protection. Magnesium helps regulate insulin and glucose metabolism. When levels are low, which is common in diabetics, insulin becomes less effective and blood sugar levels rise. Over time, this leads to inflammation and stiffening of the arteries, putting enormous strain on the heart. But with sufficient magnesium, insulin sensitivity improves, blood sugar becomes easier to control, and inflammation is reduced, giving the heart a fighting chance. CoQ10 adds another layer of protection by reducing oxidative stress, which is especially high in people with diabetes. High blood sugar increases the production of damaging free radicals that impair mitochondrial function in the heart. CoQ10 supports those mitochondria, allowing heart cells to produce energy efficiently and resist damage. When used together, magnesium and CoQ10 don't just support blood sugar, they help shield the diabetic heart from the hidden damage that leads to heart failure, arrhythmia, and early death. 6. They reduce the risk of heart failure and improve survival. Above all, the most powerful reason to combine magnesium and CoQ10 is this: they can reduce the risk of heart failure and help you live longer. Heart failure is one of the leading causes of hospitalization and death among seniors, and in many cases it doesn't happen suddenly. It builds silently over time as the heart loses its ability to produce energy, handle stress, and pump efficiently. This is where magnesium and CoQ10 play a life-saving role. Studies have shown that CoQ10 levels are significantly lower in people with heart failure, and the more severe the condition, the lower the CoQ10. But the good news, supplementing with CoQ10 can make a dramatic difference. In the Q-Symbio study, one of the largest clinical trials of its kind, patients with heart failure who took CoQ10 had a 42% reduction in cardiac deaths and were significantly less likely to be hospitalized for heart-related issues. That's not just impressive, that's life-changing. Magnesium also has a crucial role. It supports normal heart rhythm, muscle function, and vascular relaxation, all of which are impaired in heart failure. When magnesium is low, it worsens fluid retention, shortness of breath, and fatigue, making recovery harder. Correcting this deficiency can help the heart pump more efficiently and reduce symptoms. Together, magnesium and CoQ10 don't just support the heart, they strengthen it, protect it, and help it recover. If you're an older adult or care for someone who is, this combination could be one of the most important and protective tools to not just survive, but thrive. Now that we've discussed the 6 powerful reasons why magnesium and CoQ10 can be life-saving for your aging heart, let's talk about how to actually take these 2 nutrients the right way. Because taking the wrong forms, at the wrong times, or in the wrong combinations can cancel out many of the benefits. The first and most important step is to choose the right forms of each. For magnesium, if your goal is heart health, avoid cheap forms like magnesium oxide. They're poorly absorbed and can cause digestive issues. Instead, go for magnesium taurate or magnesium glycinate. These forms are much gentler on the stomach and specifically support cardiovascular and nervous system function. When it comes to CoQ10, not all forms are created equal. The most bioavailable and effective form, especially for people over 50, is ubiquinol, which is the active, ready-to-use version your body can absorb and use immediately. Older adults often struggle to convert standard CoQ10, ubiquinone, into ubiquinol, so starting with the active form makes a big difference. As for dosage, most adults aiming to support heart health should take 300 to 400 milligrams of magnesium daily and 100 to 200 milligrams of CoQ10, depending on individual needs and health conditions. Next, timing and meal pairing are critical. CoQ10 is fat-soluble, which means it should always be taken with a meal that contains healthy fat and protein. A good breakfast with eggs, avocado, or olive oil works perfectly. For magnesium, it's often best to split the dose. Take half in the morning and the other half at night. This not only improves absorption but also helps with daytime energy and nighttime relaxation. And here's a tip many miss: lower your carb intake even when it comes to whole grains. Excess carbs, especially sugars and refined starches, can deplete both magnesium and CoQ10 and increase oxidative stress, which works directly against your heart health goals. Also, always make sure you're buying your supplements from a reputable brand. Look for products that are third-party tested and free from harmful fillers, binders, or artificial additives. Unfortunately, not all supplements on the market contain what they claim, and when your heart is at stake, quality matters. To wrap up, magnesium and CoQ10 are more than just supplements. For the aging heart, they can be life-changing tools for healing, energy, and protection. But as always, before starting any new supplement, especially if you're taking medications or managing a chronic condition, please consult your healthcare provider. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone you care about. You never know, this information could save a life. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.